Good morning, Center County. Good morning, Center County families. Good morning to my clients. Happy belated Father's Day. Today is Monday, June 22nd, and I just wanted to report back. Last week's video, we talked about the big picture, how Center County provides some insulation from economic ups and downs, both locally, regionally, and nationally. And I told you I'd come back to you this week with a review of the numbers. So let's get right into it. I just want to go over the numbers, where we are right now in Center County real estate wise, and some things that buyers and sellers and homeowners need to be aware of. So let's take a peek. Apologize for my chicken scratch, but these are the numbers. I ran these numbers as of June 20th. So I pulled these numbers on Saturday, June 20th. And what we're looking at here, the numbers that I pull are the State College, Bellefonte, Bald Eagle, and Penns Valley school districts. There are over 50 school districts that can have listings in the Center County MLS, and the ones in Center County that are most germane, that are most important, again, are State College, Bellefonte, Bald Eagle, and Penns Valley. Those are the only school districts I track. So what we need to know for right now is, as of June 20th, year-to-date closed. In 2018, on June 20th, we had 626 closed transactions. In 2019, a year ago, on June 20th, we had 609 closed transactions. And this year, the year of the pandemic, as of June 20th, we had 454 closed transactions. So overall, the market is down about 25% in closed property sales. Obviously, that is very, very significant. So what I want to share about that is we're not sure if we're going to be able to make all that up this year, but we're going to keep an eye on what's called the demand rate. We're going to need to see elevated demand numbers really for the balance of the year if we're going to catch up. Next thing we're going to take a peek at is currently, as of June 20th, we had 256 current pending sales. So 256 sellers went under contract with a buyer. So these are pending transactions. They'll usually close in 30 to 60 days, and then they'll be added to this number. Currently, we also have 251 active listings. Those are sellers looking for buyers. So this is what's happened year to date up here. This is what's happening today as of Saturday, June 20th. Other things to be aware of in the marketplace. Mortgage rates, all-time lows. In my quarter-century career, I mean, maybe money was cheaper at some point in history, but when we look at the 15-year rate, we're looking at 2.5%. I've seen the 15-year rate under 2.5%. The 30-year rate at 3%. I think there's some days you might be able to go lower than 3%. So with the money as cheap as it is, and we're still down 25%. Again, this 25% reduction is approximately a 6-week closed real estate market, so it does make some sense. But with these rates and this number, that's interesting. We're going to want to see this number go down. We're going to need to see increased sales to catch up to where we were, because if money's this cheap and this gap is not closing, then that would be a borderline significant red flag. Finally, COVID on the economy. Clearly, COVID is having a negative effect on the economy. We are looking at unemployment rates above 10%, 13, 14%. Probably about 5% of that will come down relatively quickly now that we're reopening. But some of the federal economists are talking about elevated unemployment, 8 or 9% for a year or more. And eventually that will trickle down to us. The other thing with COVID is we're not sure, we talk about first wave, second wave, but as your agent, I'm looking at these things both from a macro standpoint and a micro standpoint, because if unemployment remains elevated, we could have a period of relatively flat appreciation, and we're going to have to be aware of that. So finally, I want to close with this. As we get down, if you're a seller in today's market, my guidance is don't be patient. Don't wait for the market to come to you. If you need to make moves to move toward the market, because it doesn't look like the interest rates, there's going to be much upward pressure. So money's cheap now, and the buyers aren't afraid that it's going to get more expensive. So the buyers can take a little more time making decisions. And if the economy is going to keep unemployment at 7, 8, 9%, it's going to be difficult to see any major appreciation bumps in the next 12 to 18 months. So for sellers, let's just remember not to be patient. For buyers, bottom line, if you're ready, you should buy. With this inexpensive money, and keep in mind a portion of this interest is tax deductible on your primary residence. So the net interest rates that you're paying on borrowed money right now are incredibly low. So if you're qualified and you're ready and you feel like you have job security, now is a great time to buy. And then for owners, we have to remember that our home, we live in it, it's like our family's headquarters. And you never know when the economy's gonna, affect you or your family. So I think it's important to maintain your home, at a very high level. You're going to enjoy it more. It's going to maintain its value. And there's a term in real estate, how they show, they go. So when you're watching this video, when you're done, go back to the original email and scroll down a little bit. There's going to be a link to a topic called How They Show They Go, and it's about homeowner maintenance, and there's a seller's disclosure form, a seller's property disclosure form link in that email, and that's a form that you need to fill out and convey to a buyer in every real estate transaction, residential transaction in the state of Pennsylvania. So even if you're not planning on moving in the next year or two, at least once a year, once every 2 years, you want to review that seller's disclosure, pretend you're going to sell, fill it out, and any defects that you note on that form are areas that you want to increase your maintenance budget on. So for homeowners, you want to maintain your home, keep it in good condition. I always say keep it in transferable condition. Like if you were to call me tomorrow or next year and say we want to go to market, and you know that your roof is shot, you know that you get water in your basement, you know that your property needs to be painted, you know that the carpet needs to be replaced. Those are things, don't wait until you're going to sell. Enjoy those improvements while you're living there, but also keep your house in transferable condition. So again, I just wanted to recap the numbers. It's, second half of June. I'll be back in about 2 weeks. We'll be able to look at the full first half of the year numbers. Let's see where June finishes up. If we take one more look at the numbers, what we're going to be looking for in the next couple of weeks is, are we closing this gap? Year-to-date numbers. So we'll look at this, July 3rd, July 4th, July 5th, and we'll see if we're closing this gap. Otherwise, keep the low interest rates in mind. If you have any questions, you can reach me at toddcostello.com. You can call the office. You can call my cell number. All my contact information is on there. And in the meantime, I hope you and your family are continuing to be healthy. Let's not ignore this COVID thing. Let's continue to practice social distancing. Keep your masks on, wash your hands, and I'll see you next time.